The greatest league in the world is just over a week away, and we've spent the day speaking to 10 players from all Premier Division clubs ahead of the restart next Friday, Saturday and Sunday. As you can see behind me, Watch LOI is the new streaming service launched by the FAI this week. €55 for people based in Ireland and $69 if you're outside the country to watch every game for the rest of the season. So here's a chat with the players. So with Shamrock Rovers, Roberto Lopez, the best League of Ireland lockdown haircut, Pico. It's looking fantastic. I saw some photos of you when you got back to training and it's still going strong.
Yeah, I suppose the lockdown has given me a chance to try out new things. I went with the moustache and I went to grow the hair out. So yeah, it's here to stay for the foreseeable future anyway.
How have the lads and the other people in the league reacted to it, and do you even care? Probably not.
I don't really care. I say it's for myself, but no, all the comments have been positive so far. So may they continue.
And you can really just sense the buzz here today, even the hum in the background of League of Ireland players talking to journalists about football matches starting next week.
Yeah, it's like Christmas really for us, like us as footballers. Like we're really excited just to get the competitiveness back to us. To say you can do all the training you want and you can play the pre-season friendlies, but until you know there's something right in it, that's when the real kind of enjoyment comes into it.
How have the last few months been, from kind of the news that the league was suspended to the extra delays, and then being one of the first teams back training and played lots of friendly games and really ready to go now?
Yeah, I suppose it's a bit frustrating at first because we initially thought it was going to be a couple of weeks and we'd be back into it and it'd be grand, and obviously you realise this is affecting worldwide, every country. Like, it's a much bigger issue than football. But I think we got over it, and you realise just looking forward for that start date, and once we got that, we're just really eager to just get back and give it our all.
Yeah, and lots of friendly games as well. A sense of good competition in the group to be in Stephen's starting team come Friday.
Well, this is it. Yeah, you want to be in the 11 for the Finn Harps game, and then obviously you want to do well to hold your place for the rest of the season. So it's a short season now with 13 games. If you can hit the ground running, and if you're in that team, you could be there for the rest of the season. So please God, we do well.
Yeah, there's been different debates on the length of the season, and some of the full-time clubs wanted more games. What's your own thought as a player that it's only going to be 13 more?
I'm happy, Jamie, to be honest with you. I'm happy that we're back here playing football, because there was lots of conversations of potentially not having the league, and you see other leagues across Europe that just came out and scrapped it straight away. So I'm happy to be playing football. I couldn't care if it was 2 competitive games or 30 competitive games, so I'm just happy to be back. Of
course, it's a long time ago since the first five wins, that great win against Dundalk. The last game I saw, I think anyone played in, was the Sligo game on the Saturday night before it was finished. So how would you assess the start of the season? Of course, off the back of the cup final win, it's gone really well.
Yeah, it's obviously a great start, and we build up a bit of momentum. But at the moment that means nothing, because it's a clean slate for everyone. Say a lot of time has passed. You can't get complacent. You really need to kind of focus on the next game, which is Finn Harps, and hit the ground running again, because it's a clean slate for anyone. And if you get a good start, points on the board, it's such a short season that. The end of the season will be here before you know.
So it's, a lot of people said, a sprint as opposed to a marathon this year, and it's just win the games and see where it takes you. If you get a lead as you have at the moment, it could be very difficult for other teams to claw back and vice versa. Yeah, definitely. It's all about points on the board at this stage. So if you get as many of them earlier on in the season as you can, you have a good chance coming to the end of the season of winning something. How will it be on Friday in Tallaght Stadium with no supporters there? We're at the Watch LOI launch, which is great for the fans, but for you guys being in the stadium, which has had fantastic attendances in the last couple of years, especially with the new South Stand, it'll be, I'm sure, strange having not too many people there. Yeah, it'll be tough, because especially, as you say, Tallaght creates an unbelievable atmosphere, and you will miss it on your Friday and Saturday nights now as well. But no, we have to be professional and do our own job. You can't just rely on the boost from the crowd. We have to create our own atmosphere, and hopefully that comes through in the new streaming service at home as well. And Pico, lastly, I saw on Instagram during the week that you are thinking about life after football, and I know you've worked in the past too when you were playing for Bowls. Has this given you an extra kind of thought process in your head and everybody's head that because of what's happened, that football won't last forever and that you do have to do something else? Yeah, definitely. Say the time we had off is time for reflection, and we know we can work on other stuff and have times like yourself. I've been back to college, I've been doing courses, and I've kind of put a few ideas together, so when I'm finished I can go into that, something like that. And lastly, international stuff at the Cape Verde Islands. Is there any news on when games are and if you'll be back in the colours again? Yeah, no, there's been no news, but like football across the world, there's nothing new news there. Things have been pushed back and games have been rescheduled, so but fingers crossed when things are back up and running that I'll be involved. Hugo, thanks for being, best of luck. Thanks very much. So with Bohemians, Keith Buckley, Bucko, there's a really good vibe around here today, and all systems go for next weekend.
Well, the weekend after, isn't it? For the 2nd of August, I think our date is away to Cork on a Sunday here. Now it's a good buzz, around this league. So hopefully now with this streaming package as well, can help promote the league throughout the world, not just in Ireland. It's a great day. 69 if you're abroad, 55 if you're at home for all clubs. When I first seen it, I thought it was just I thought it was just like Behemoths, man. There's €55 just Behemoths, but you can watch all club, and it's Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So if you are busy on the Friday and stuff, if you are a League of Football fan, you can watch live games throughout the weekend, you know.
And all the games are going to be there. If you missed them, you can actually watch them back as well, which is great. And it's something that the league has never had before. So from that sense, even though there'll be no fans in the ground, at least they can watch.
Yeah, exactly. Like this time here, probably people took time to reevaluate how to try and actually push the league that a little bit further throughout, you know, and eventually down the line, hopefully we can get an all out, and that would be brilliant, you know. But as I said, there are no fans in it. But I think then with this package, people will realise what can be done, and then next year, hopefully, then everything settles down, and then the fans can come in and keep the packages going and the streaming going, you know.
I know in the last couple of years the crowds in Dalymount in, you know, the two stands that are open have been fantastic, particularly the home crowd. So how will it be playing there with very few people there?
Yeah, well, played there on Saturday, I think it was, against Derry at home. There's no one there, just bar some lads who are in the stand and the managers and stuff, you know. You can just hear the managers' direction and stuff, and it could be different, you know. Like, you're all used to at home, like playing with big crowds and all, but now that motivation's gone. There's no one there to push you but yourself, so you've got to dig deep now. Think of yourself, and you've got to motivate yourself and your team, because no one's going to help you now. And
as the captain, will that add any extra to you, even in the little huddle beforehand or whatever, that, you know, the first game's back and stuff, that just to make sure the lads are all going? I'm sure they will be.
If they announce there's something wrong, you know, you don't need not much motivation for 4 months off. This is the second pre-season nearly within a season, you know. Again, yeah, I said we'll all find our own motivations. We'll have our own little circle that we push each other, you know. The fans, obviously it's disappointing that the fans can't get in to see, hopefully, that we can progress in the league and push in the league, because now it is a sprint, you know.
Yeah, you're away to Cork on the open weekend for you guys on a Sunday, so it's a new kick-off time and a long trip down with different protocols on the bus and masks and how you get there and all that sort of stuff, so it's something very new for everybody just to get used to.
Well, yeah, usually we have a structured week, you know. We train certain days a week and play a match Friday and train the weekend. So now, because of Friday, Saturday, getting Sunday games, it's going to be a little bit different probably for the end of the season because of the league being rejigged or whatever you want to say, you know. Yeah, again, with the protocol, the mask, we all just got to stick by it, and no matter what we do, we just have to get past this unprecedented times, you know, and hopefully get everyone back in the grounds and pushing it again, you know.
For you, how's the last few months been, given that the club kept everybody on their full wages and you were also able to work throughout or through most of it too, which a lot of people weren't, so you've still been quite busy, and now you're even busier now that you're back training?
I've been lucky. I'm very lucky, and this could be a time for young lads, young professionals or amateurs within the league to maybe think now, like, football in this country, you can't live on a wage when you retire, you know. Start looking at college, start looking at jobs. They really need to look at themselves and think what's down the line, you know. As I said, we've been kept busy with our trainings, our Zooms and stuff like that. As I said, I've been lucky with work and everything else, so I'm grateful for that, you know.
And you've Europe to come as well. Disappointing it'll only be over one leg and there'll be no even a small crowd at that, and having waited so long to get into Europe, it's a little bit of a hit, but I suppose just get on with it.
Yeah, you know, it's been good to see over the past couple of years the club progressing slowly over these past few years, and it's good to get rewarded with Europe. And it would have been good also to have your family, say, if you are travelling two-legged, your family, your friends, the club, the fans, what they bring, you know, what the Behemoths fans are like when they go abroad, you know. But again, look, it's 11v11, there's no teams to motivate anyone else, so usually tactics could play a part when you go away to a club, but there's no, usually, because that base is on the home ground, giving that a bit of pressure and a bit of pressure on the away team. So now you can look at different things now and approach play differently, you know.
And lastly, for you, like, you have worked throughout your League of Ireland career as well, and it's something that other players haven't maybe done, and when you do finish, you'll be able to maybe progress that career or a different one. Is that something that you were always thinking about when you were a little bit younger, and now that this has happened, is it even more helpful to you to know that you do have something else?
Yeah, you know, when I was started out when I was 17, 18, for the first couple of years, I was focused on football and stuff. I was working the odd night in the bar and stuff and that. But you know, as I playing with Behemoths, like, I've seen lads working, let's say Dave McCarthy, you have Derek Pender who's working, and being talking to them and seeing how their life is from working and what they can do when they finish. You know, I'm going to look at going into coaching and stuff like that and getting badges as well to be an extra plus. But again, there needs to be a life after football. And as I say, League of Ireland wages, but you see, I think Materazzi has finished with retired and thinks that they're going to do a degree. And if he has all the money in the world, you know, it's just for the brain as well, to stimulate the mind to keep going, because a lot of people get depressed, you know. And in this pandemic now, you realise, like, you need to do more. You need to push yourself that little bit more. And there's the PFEI, they can help you through anything. You can, if you want to go to college, you want to do your badges, they'll give you guidelines. You want to see people, they have to help you, you know. So it's good.
Keep up. Thanks for being the best of luck and joy.
No problem, thanks, Shay.
So with Dundalk's Daniel Kelly. Dano, we're less than a week out now, or in around that. How's things feeling in your own head ahead of the big kick-off again next Friday?
Yeah, very good. I think we've sort of had another pre-season under our belt with all the stuff that's gone on, but it's been good. The lads have been, everybody's come back fully fit. We've been sort of in a better place than we were before we left off, some people say, but first league game back next week. It's been a long time coming, but thankfully we're getting there anyway, and the league is starting back finally.
How would you describe the last few months from lockdown to being back with the group? And of course you guys are back earlier than most of the rest because of the plans for Europe and maybe that mini term that didn't happen in the end.
Yeah, it's been strange. It has been strange. I'm not going to lie. It's just the most strangest thing was you're used to training with a group of 24, 25 players, to trying to train on your own and motivate yourself on your own. We did have programs to follow and stuff. It's just different. You're used to being in a dressing room with a group of lads and having the banter and stuff, but it's been hard. It has been hard, but it's the last couple of months has been hard for everybody. That's the problem. So it's finally we're getting there where we look sharp in training. Everybody looks sharp. The last few games, the friendlies we've had, everybody trying to dwell together, and it's been really good.
Yeah, I know Vinny has spoken about the competition for places and the number of friendly games that he's had. You had a game Monday, a game Tuesday again, and I'm sure everybody's just trying to get in that team for next Friday against St. Pat's.
Yeah, exactly. I think he has. He's a few, like there's so many. I think we've 23, 24 players, so he's a lot of decisions to make. Obviously, we've probably one of the best squads in the league, if not the best. I'm not sure, but it's great to be a part of Dundalk. Obviously, everybody wants to play. That's the problem. So I think he's a bit of a head melted for competition for places, but. It's more of a it's not a marathon now. It's sort of a sprint. There's only 13 games left, and everybody wants to play. But listen, it's everybody's in it for everybody, not just themselves.
Yeah, Dundalk have been quite vocal on wanting a longer season, wanting at least 3 series. It hasn't happened that way. As a player, what do you make of that?
I think obviously the main part of it was for the league to get back on again. I think everybody was in the same boat in that regard, but 13 games, it's not the worst. It's the league starting back. Obviously, I think most people would want more games. I think we could have got another round of fixtures in, but listen, it is what it is. They've come to the decision, but I think we knew coming a couple of weeks before it was announced that this was going to happen. So listen, we've nothing to be worrying about. We can still go and win the league. Hopefully, please God, if all goes well.
Yeah, it seems a long time ago now, that massive game against Shamrock Rovers and the Jordan Flores goal and the massive crowd, and I know you guys lost that game, but it seems like a long time ago now before you get going again on Friday.
Yeah, it's actually on in the background there. I might have been watching it, but geez, it feels like months ago. It feels like last year actually. Everyone's ready to go. That game, obviously, we didn't get a great bit of luck in the game. I thought we were hard done by not to get at least a draw out of it. But listen, Rovers won deservedly. But it's going to be tough for everybody. But I don't think anybody can afford to lose a couple of games. The likes of Derry and Bows have a really good squad this year as well. So like it's anybody's really. If you're going to run in this league, it's very hard to stop teams. As you seen last year, I think we lost to Sligo and then Pats, and then we went on a 32-34 game unbeaten run. So it can be done by any team.
Yeah, and we're here at the launch of Watch LOI, so the fans will be able to watch it from their sitting rooms but not from the stadiums. How have you found the behind closed doors friendlies, and how strange will it be to be playing league games with very few people at them?
Yeah, it's been difficult. It's been different. I think everyone has been talking about it. Usually in games, if you're 0-0 after a certain amount of time and the fans get a bit of chance going, they get a bit of momentum going, we're gonna have to generate that ourselves. I think everyone's in the same boat again, but it's hard. It has been hard to get used to, but I think after the 3 or 4 games we've had under our belt, we're used to it now. We need to create our own momentum, and we need to just be back to where we left off, basically. Yeah.
And lastly, with Champions League football to come as well, even though it's only one leg, and the FAI Cup and stuff as well, it's still an exciting time for you guys, and I'm sure you're all just really raring to get going.
Oh yeah, can't wait to get going. Everyone's raring to get going. The 17th or the 18th of August, I think the game is, so I think we'll find out the week before. Hopefully we get a bit of luck, because you never know, you could get 3 or 4 home draws and you could be laughing, but hopefully now when it does kick off that we're where we want to be and we get a good result, and hopefully go through to the next round.
Dan, thanks for being the best of luck.
Thank you very much, Jake.
So with St. Pat's goalkeeper Brendan Clark. Brendan, we've had a long wait for the announcement and the streaming and the fixtures, and we're all set to go now in less than a week.
Yeah, it's been a long lockdown. Long time waiting to get back on the training pitch, and long time looking forward to fixtures against good opposition. So yeah, we're ready to go. We've had a good few weeks training, so yeah, we'll be ready for the week.
Yeah, how would you describe the last few months, from lockdown to the layoffs to being back and the friendly games and it being so close now?
Do you know what, during it you can't see the light at the end of the tunnel, but looking back now it kind of flew by, which was a little bit strange, but no, listen, it was what it was. You kind of had to deal with what government guidelines and stuff like that. So no, we're all good, ready to go, and all happy to be back working.
Have things been any different in terms of how you've been trying to get back fit? And I know you were training yourself and then training in a smaller group of goalkeepers and now back on the pitch, just given that there's such a short kind of time before you're actually back playing?
Yeah, well, I mean, we had our club fitness plan, which was all kind of checked on Strava and stuff with Chris Coburn, strength and conditioning coach, but you can do all the 2Ks and 1K runs you want, but it's not goalkeeping at the end of the day. And to be fair, myself, Brian and Conor, we got together and done our own bits and pieces towards the time we were coming back, just so we were sharp, we were ready to go, and it was great. It was great to get our hands on a football again and stuff like that. So yeah, now we're ready to go. We were able to straight into training. There was no rustiness or anything like that. So.
And the first game against Dundalk, of course, it was called off on the Thursday, and I'm sure the plans were ready for that, and it's a few months later now, so all systems go for Oriel next Friday.
Yeah, we have a couple of games to get through now in the next couple of days before we really look at Dundalk, but yeah, we'll be ready to go. The gaffer and the staff will put a plan in place for us to go up and get a good positive result.
You've been so experienced in the league and played in so many big games in front of big crowds. How have the behind closed doors games been? And this Watch LOI has been launched, which is fantastic for the supporters, but for you guys it will be a different experience playing with nobody at the matches, but every footballer in the world is trying to deal with the same issues.
Exactly, it's the same for everyone, isn't it? We're no different, so the only thing is we're not dealing with 50,000 people every week like people across the water or whatever. But look, we'll take it on a stride as a league. We normally do, as a group of players in the league, we normally take everything on a stride, and we'll be ready to go kind of with the measures in place and stuff. Kind of a couple of games we've had so far have kind of given us a taste of what we need to go, and obviously for the fans, supporters, they have the new streaming service, and to be fair, it's probably just been a shame that it's taken a pandemic to get something like this in place.
And lastly, I know you're heavily involved with the PFAI, and there's been lots of great things happening with them over the last number of years, but particularly in the last few months with a focus on life for footballers after playing, and that's been highlighted again this week, and it is something that everybody had to hit the pause button and have a think about after football.
100%. I mean, even from a footballer's point of view, the lockdown makes it really cherish the job you have. I've always been appreciative of the fact I've made a career out of being a footballer, but it's not going to last forever. So but PFAI, they've brought a PDM in place, Dr. Emma Burrows. She's been great. She's worked with a lot of players in terms of putting structures in place for when they finish. So I'd encourage. I've sat down with her. I've met her, and she's brilliant at what she does. So I'd encourage kind of every player, looking for a career after football, to sit down with her and use the service that the PFAI have made available.
Conor Clark, thanks for being the best of luck.
No problem. Cheers.
So we're here at the launch of Watch LOI with Shelbourne's Gary Deegan. Gary, a long time off, and looking forward to getting going now next week.
Yeah, it's been a long time. I think it's one that you've got to embrace and try and enjoy as much as possible. We've tried new things with Zoom calls and stuff, and it's actually brought some of the lads a bit closer together. The lads that haven't really spoken together, we have a bit of banter on the calls, and yeah, you gotta deal with the hands they're giving. How
have the last few weeks been back on the pitch? A few friendly games, and nice to be back with the lads, I'm sure.
Yeah, no, we've eased ourselves in. We've had a few games, picked up a few little ideas, and let's try and implicate them now when the season kicks off.
Yeah, having started the season with a couple of wins, first year back in the Premier in a long time, I'm sure it was very disappointing for the season to have stopped, and everybody's anxious now just to try and get going again next week.
Yeah, I think everyone's in the same boat, and I think it's who can adapt the quickest, because we've only got 13 games, so there's no time to be bedding in. You gotta hit the ground running.
Yeah, there's been so many different views about the season, and should there be 3 series of games, should there be relegation, should there be promotion? As a player, what are you made of all of that, and now that the season's going to be only 13 games left?
I don't really care. People have made the decision, and you just got to accept it. There's no point crying about it. You just got to go on and do the job.
And from Shell's point of view as well, with 13 games left, what do you think the aims will be for the rest of the season now?
We've got 13 games, and you got to try and win every game, and that's the mentality. No point putting goals and what can we achieve. Get that first win and see what we are.
I know when you were in the UK you would have been used to playing a lot of games on a Saturday afternoon. It's very uncommon in the League of Ireland. Your first game is on Saturday at 2 o'clock. It'll be a little bit strange for everybody, but it'll be great to have games Friday, Saturday, Sunday for the next number of months.
Look, we've been away a long time. I think if you're told to be playing on Monday, Tuesday, it doesn't matter. Football's back. That's what we wanted, so let's just get on the show now.
And you'll play Waterford in your first game back. They have a new manager, and I'm sure they'll be anxious to try and get some points as well on Saturday.
Yeah, I think we've got to focus on ourselves. Let other teams do what they need to do. We're prepared, we're prepped, ready to go. So, yeah, good to go.
And overall, how have you found being back in Ireland and back with Chelsea? You seem to have got an instant connection with the fans, and them to you and you to them.
Yeah, no, I've really embraced it. Really embraced the league. I'm a product of this league. Let's not forget about that. When I was at Bows back in 2009ish, and I love playing football. And I keep playing as long as I love and enjoy it. And look, the fans in Talca Park have really taken to me and the lads, and really appreciate that.
And you've also started a job as well, so starting to plan for life after football too.
Yeah, it's different. It brings a bit of humility to your life. Being a footballer, you live in a bubble for so many years, and it's nice to connect to the average person.
Gary, thanks for being the best of luck.
No bother, thanks.
With Sligo's Johnny Dunleavy. Johnny, your thoughts on the big restart now in about a week or so?
I just can't wait to get started again, Jamie. It's been a long time coming, and a lot of uncertainty, I suppose, for the lads. But getting back in training and getting back into games has been brilliant. So we just can't wait to get started.
How would you sum up the last few months for the players, given Sligo were the first club to announce that the team had been temporarily laid off, and you've been through lockdown? I know, still doing Zooms and still keeping fit, and now back with the group, and the season's a week away. Yeah,
it's just been very strange, really. I suppose training on your own and stuff like that. You can use your Zoom calls and all, but it's not the same. It's not collective training, and your self-motivation is difficult at times. And then, the uncertainty around the restart of the league and stuff like that as well. I think a lot of players found that difficult, and I can certainly see how people talk about these days about how it was difficult on mental health and stuff in the period of the COVID, say, and I can understand that completely. So it was great to get a bit of certainty back when the date was coming, and to get back in collective training and stuff. You could feel the relief in the squad, and no, it's been going really well. We've a lot of boys come back in from injury and things. And the squad looks strong, so we're eager to get started.
Speaking of strong, talk to me about the connection between the people of Sligo and the club. The GoFundMe has just been incredible, and I know the club have been quite vocal. I think your treasurer, David Raw, was quite vocal about the issues the club are facing, and maybe not coming back unless the financial package was right. But the way the people have just put in their pockets, and is it 60,000 now or something like that?
Oh, I think it's well over 80 actually.
Is it? Okay.
I think so. And I've seen GoFundMes for different things over the years, and they've might have got 5 or 10,000. I mean, Sligo had 50 grand nearly in 2.5 days or something. I've never seen anything like it, and it just shows you the passion for the club, the passion from the people of Sligo to get back playing football, and we all can't wait to get back now. It's it's a privilege for us to be able to play in front of passionate people like that.
And of course, unfortunately, they won't be able to physically watch you in the showgrounds or any other stadium, but we're at the Watch LOI launch, and it's the first time the league have done this, so it's a positive that people can watch, even though for you guys it'll be strange in almost empty stadiums.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we've played a couple of friendlies in relatively empty stadiums, let's say, and it is a strange atmosphere, no doubt about it. And I suppose it's up to you to create your own buzz and create your own momentum and stuff within the games. But this is a brilliant incentive, a brilliant initiative for people to go and watch football in the League of Ireland, get behind the teams, watch as many games as they can. People can't get enough of football at the moment, and it's good to give them a break from the day-to-day life at the moment, which is very strange for everyone. So I think it's fantastic.
Yeah, Friday 5:45 at the Ryan McBride Brandywell against Derry City. So one of the new kick-off times as well. We've got 2 Fridays, 2 Saturdays and a Sunday. So there'll be just so many games for people to watch, and for you guys to get used to these new kick-off times, because for your whole League of Ireland career you've been used to Saturday 7:30 in the showgrounds or Friday 7:45 everywhere else.
That's it. Actually, there's so many things that are so difficult to get used to at the moment. You can't get changed at training. You have to get straight into the car after training. Now we'll have new kick-off times, as you say, but listen, we won't mind. We can't wait to get back into the games. Tough first game up in Derry, but we're really looking forward to it.
And the season so far, of course, on the point of view of points, hasn't been fantastic, and with only 13 games now, probably the importance of each game is, in terms of points, is probably more magnified.
Yeah, it's magnified, no question about it. As cliched and all as it is, it's like 14 cup finals basically, I suppose. And look, we had a tough start. We had a frustrating start, really, in terms of injuries. A couple of the games could have gone either way, and we just came out of the wrong side of them. But we've a lot of those boys back now. The squad looks an awful lot stronger. We have a couple of young lads coming through that are very, very promising. So we're really eager to get back playing, and we can't wait for the first game.
Yeah, I'm sure just excitement. Like, I was in the pub on the Saturday night watching Sligo against Shamrock Rovers. Didn't realise that would be the last game that I would have seen for so many months, and for you guys to play in. So, and all of the debate and talk about will it be back, will it not be back, it's back now, and I'm sure you're all you can't wait to get going.
Listen, we're just raring to go. We've got one more friendly now between now and the start of the season, and then it's hell for leather after that, so bring it on.
And lastly, has this given you, a perspective on the importance of having something else away from football? And I know you've had your injuries, and you're also coaching. We've coached against each other with Pats and Sligo 19s in the last couple of years, but just to have something else away from football, that if football stops or when football ends, that you can transition into another career.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's very important, and it's something that my dad actually was always on to me about. And I think the PFAI have a lot of brilliant initiatives for players now to move into different careers after football. So it's something that I've been thinking about all right. As you said, I've had plenty of my ups and downs over the years. So I'll have a certain path whenever I'm finished. But for now, anyway, it's all systems go for the football.
Johnny, best of luck. Thanks for chatting.
Thanks very much, Jimmy. With
Cork City's Darragh O'Connor. Darragh, we're here for the Watch LOI launch, and the season's back in around a week's time. So what's the thoughts on the big restart?
Yeah, look, first thing first, regardless of crowds and all that kind of stuff, we're just happy to get back playing football. There's a period where we probably thought we weren't going to get back. It was being further delayed, and you're nearly getting false hope at one stage. But look, from the first day training back, everyone's had a smile on their face. It's kind of, even from the point of view, having a pre-season this summer is something that we never had before. It's more enjoyable. You're rocking up the training, the sun is shining. You don't care that you're doing runs compared to a cold January day. Like, it's a much better vibe. And look, we're raring to go. We're under no illusions. We've had a rocky start, and we need to kind of get points on the board as quick as we can now.
How would you compare this mini pre-season to the one you had in January?
Warmer. Warmer. And I think people are, after lockdown, they're kind of coming back with a different mindset. They're a lot happier. Just the buzz is just a lot happier. Obviously, when you get something taken away from you, you're a lot more grateful to have it, whether you realise it or not. The attitude's been tremendous. Everyone's come back in relatively decent nick. Obviously it's shorter, so we've had taken a different approach. We've just been playing games left, right and centre, even in-house games or local multi-senior league teams, first division teams, and that's the best way to get fit. People are saying we've a shorter pre-season, but from our point of view, if you've done enough of the base work in lockdown running wise, you should be able to slot in, and once you get games under your belt, you're laughing like you're good to go. So I think we should be in a good position going forward when it starts next week. Yeah,
a couple of really good signings as well. Of course, Kevin O'Connor, who's an experienced player and did so well before he moved to the UK, and Graham Cummins re-signed as well. Both defenders, and two probably important signings for Neil, given he was looking for experience.
Yeah, I still have to blink twice when you say Cummins a defender. But to be fair to him, he's rocked into training. And he slotted in, you swear he's been centre half for years, like, do you know what I mean? He says, look, he's been up front for years, who better to know how to mark a striker than a former striker, so he's put his money where his mouth is, and it's paying off. And with Kev, he's won a double, he's been away in England, he's well experienced coming back, so two very good additions. Kind of probably needed that extra bit of, I suppose it's experience, to be honest, because we have really good young players. They just probably need to be guided how to do things this way, that way, and between themselves, Morrissey, myself, McGlade, kind of the so-called older lads, even if we are or we aren't, I think we'll get things right this time around, definitely.
And to start, you have to wait till Sunday at 5 o'clock to host Bows at Turner's Cross, so it'll be strange not playing at a Friday 7:45, and of course there'll be nobody at Turner's Cross, but the fans can watch LOI, which at least is something for you guys, I'm sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, obviously, crowds aside, I think it's a very good idea to have the games spaced out, because every Friday you're looking at live score, you're saying, Bows Rovers playing, that's a great game, but we can't watch it because we're playing our own game. At the end of the day, we're fans of the league as well, we want to watch games. So given the fact that we're not playing till Sunday, we can relax, watch the games Friday, Saturday, and see how the players take to playing behind crowds. So it's a small advantage if you want to look at it that way. We'd be able to see if the tempo is higher, if it was like in the Premier League when kind of standards dropped in the first week, kind of getting used to it. So we'll have a few games being able to watch them before we're back on Sunday. But Sunday 5 o'clock, similar enough. Like, at the end of the day, it's a game of football on the pitch, so you can't look into things too much.
What has Neil said about the importance of these 13 games, given it's 3 points from the first 5, and it's been well documented, the financial issues of the club the last couple of seasons, but it would be unthinkable for Cork not to be in the Premier Division next year, and I'm sure that's been at the forefront of his mind. Even though he wants to play a passing brand, you want to play a passing brand, you guys need points as well.
Yeah, ultimately it's going to be win at all costs. That's the name of the game. Now, I'm not going to come out and say we're in a relegation battle. Do you know what I mean? We're 5 games in. Even though there's 13 games, that's a long way to go. You look at the league table right now. it says we're, I think, second last or something like that, but you're 4 points off Europe at the same time. Do you know what I mean? We're very, very little games into the season. Have we had the most ideal start? Absolutely not. We're under no illusions that way. But yeah, he's kind of drilled into it more of a distilled mindset of it's win at all costs. We need to get that extra bit of guile and how to see out games, how to nick draws here and there, and when to play and when not to play. Because ultimately in this league, you can play really badly, but you can still nitty gritty and get your 3 points. And for us, particularly starting off and getting confidence back, that's probably going to be the most important thing.
And overall, just excited to get going again, and I'm sure everybody's been waiting so long to actually play a competitive game, and it's really, really close now.
Yeah, look, I've done enough running in the lockdown to just want to be able to put the spikes away and just put the football boots on and ultimately play with your mates and play a game of football again. That's the bottom line. That's why we do it as a living. Like, you know what I mean? It's the best game out there, and coming back pre-season playing football, it's the best thing there is, and we're just delighted to get back now, to be honest.
Great stuff, Darragh. Good luck. Thanks for chatting.
No problem. Thank you.
Robbie McCourt, how's things? There's a real buzz around here today, and just a sense that things are back in a week's time. How are you feeling about it all?
Yeah, it feels good. Happy to be back training. We're back 2 weeks now, I think, and everyone's looking sharp. So, look, we'll go into the season ready, and I know we're a week behind, I think, a couple of the teams, but we're looking sharp at the minute, and we'll be ready for ourselves first game of the season.
How would you describe the last few months for yourselves with kind of the lockdown and the financial issues, and then being back training and the season really only a week away now?
Yeah, it's been absolute madness, not knowing. I didn't even know if we had a club to go back to, so it's been scary. But look, I just had to get all that out of my head and focus on the main goal, and that was just to keep fit and being ready when we were back,
Yeah, how was that when you guys found out? I think at the time the manager Alan Reynolds said he found out via email about everybody being laid off, and then he leaves, and then the new manager only comes in last week, and no one's really sure what's going on, even the players.
Yeah, I didn't have a clue what was going on, and it was scary not knowing if I did have a club to go back to. But look, we got through all that, and we're here now.
How's the new manager been?
It's been great, yeah. I'm enjoying him. He looks like he wants to get the ball down and play, and he doesn't like the ball being played backwards. He wants to always go forward, and that's the way I like to play. I suppose every young player likes to play like that, and we're a young squad, We're all 21, 20, 22, so we'll give everything, and I can guarantee we'll run our socks off for the team and for the club and the fans, and that's all we can do, really.
Of course, the fans won't be actually able to be in the RSC to support you, but they'll be watching LOI on the new streaming service. So how have the friendly games been with nobody there, and what will it be like playing in these big games? Like, for example, the opening game of the season, you'll be in Tolka, that would have been probably packed had there been fans allowed in.
Yeah, it's going to be weird for a few of us, but most of our team is all young players, and they're probably, to be honest, they're probably not used to fans being at their games, because they're all 19, 20, so I think we have the most advantage, because we're the team who's probably not used to the fans being, except obviously some of the older lads would have been used to fans, but most of our team is young lads, and they've grown up in the youth levels with no fans, so it will help us in the long run, I think. Yeah,
and in terms of the season, I watched your opening night win at St. Pat's. Really impressive performance with 6 points from the 4 games, and it's only 13 games left. So, what's the thoughts on kind of where the league is at for you guys, and aims and stuff like that?
Yeah, 6 points. It's a great start. It's short, sharp stuff now to the end of the season. So, if we can just keep putting in performances and getting wins, we'll do well. I think we'll be up there with Europe at the end of the season. And look, like I said, it's a sprint, not a marathon. So it's short, sharp, and we'll give everything we can over the next few months.
Does that actually change the games? Like, if you're losing 1-0 or you're drawing 1-1, and there is 13 games, and then all of a sudden there's 6 games or 5 games, does it actually change the games when maybe a point might have been a good result, but maybe because the games are out, you need to go and try and get a winner and stuff like that?
Yeah, like, the games come thick and fast, and maybe if you lose one game, the next game is the day later or 2 days later, so you can get that last game out of your head. So if you just keep putting in good performances, we can keep moving through the games, and hopefully by the end of the season we'll be up there and in and around it.
Robbie McCourt, best of luck. Thanks a million.
Thanks very much.
So here with Benny from Finn Harps. we're nearly ready to go again. What's the thoughts on the big restart in a couple of weeks' time?
Me personally, I'm excited for it. It'd be good to get on the pitch and just enjoy being back on the pitch. Really, spending some time on the ball, enjoying myself. Yeah.
How have the last few months been, lockdown and being back training and Zoom calls and eventually being back with the lads and playing friendly games and stuff?
Yeah, to be honest with you, the lockdown was crazy. At the start, it was really difficult, but like everything, you learn to adapt. So once you get to adapt, you create your own routine. And then after that, we started training again. So that brought a big smile to my face. And now we're just training, working hard, getting ourselves ready for the restart. And it's exciting. For me, the main thing I'm thinking about is I'm excited about it. A little bit nervous, because we've got challenging obstacles coming up. But hey, if you're not ready for challenges, then you'll never be ready for anything in life, really, are you?
Yeah. How have you found the behind closed doors friendlies, and how strange will it be, even though the fans will be able to watch LOI on the stream, they won't be able to cheer you on in the stadium?
Yeah, it's at the start it was a little bit crazy, but like I said to you, I spent some time locally, so I got the chance to know a little bit about the people around there, how they love their team. So I'll take that with me personally onto the pitch and know that yes, they're supporting me, even though they can't be on the pitch with us to see the performance. They'll be seeing it from home and they'll still be supporting you. So we'll feel them in our hearts and our spirit. Yeah.
Shamrock Rovers first up. I think it's on Saturday evening at 5 o'clock. Looking forward to being at Tallaght Stadium. They're of course 5 wins from 5, so you couldn't have picked a much tougher first game back.
To be fair, anyone in the League of Ireland is a tough game. Like I said before, we're excited for it. It's a good challenge. It's a good test for us. We're going to give it our best and hopefully we get a good result to go with it.
Yeah, and there's been so much great stuff with Finn Harps over the last while with the GoFundMe to raise €30,000 for the new dressing rooms at Finn Park, and you can really see the connection that the people around Donegal and around the league have to the club.
Oh yeah, exactly that. The people locally, they love their club and they support the club as much as they can with anything they can, even if it's just volunteering here and there. So obviously seeing the GoFundMe and how well the fans responded to that was really great. And yeah, they're getting things set up now, so it's exciting times really. We can't wait to get back on the pitch.
Yeah, you have a big smile on your face. You do seem proper ready and excited like every other player in the league, and there should be some really great action on the first weekend.
Oh, definitely. And I like the way they've set it all up so people can actually get a chance to follow each and every game. So that's a good thing as well. So, like you said before, it might be a bit challenging for us, but hey, a good challenge for us to take on.
And in terms of the season, Benny, your manager Ollie Horgan always speaks about, we have to stay up, and he's always, really making sure his team want to stay in the Premier. You've got 4 points from the 4 games so far and 13 matches left. So what's the thoughts on the rest of the season in terms of points and trying to make sure that you maintain your place in the league?
It's just like Ollie always says to us, we just need to work hard, stick to the plan and try our best to get as far up the league as possible. Like you said, stay in the league, so stay in the league. He says it, you do it. Exactly.
Benny, thank you. Best of luck, man.
Thank you. Cheers.